Warriors going into last night had lost 6 of their last 7 against the Lakers. The Warriors going into last night, we're still coming out of last night, are a team that aside from the Kings, can't beat anyone of note on the road. 2-20, we can show it to you. 2-20 on the road against playoff teams not named the Sacramento Kings this year. The Warriors are a team that last night needed, 56 combined points? 58 from Wiggins, Draymond, and Gary Payton on 60% shooting. And even with that, Brew, if AD doesn't go down, I'm not sure they win.
Oh, come on.
Hold on.
They led by double figures for virtually all
correct.
of the last
And the
Lakers
kept getting it to 8, and they'd get it back to 11. They'd get it to 9, they'd get it back to 12. Absolutely.
With AD.
Once AD went out, they got it to 7. Okay. And I thought the Lakers played terribly yesterday in a game we all knew the Warriors would win, and still with a minute left in the first half, it's a 3-point game. That 8-0 run at the end of the first half was sneaky, huge moment in the final 55 seconds. LeBron misses a shot, they give up 3, the whole thing. So the idea that all of a sudden LeBron James is going to blow a 3-1 lead, is going to lose a game at the Crypt, when, Brew, the last time LeBron James lost a home game that he started was the day he broke Kareem's record. Think about how long ago that was, how young we were, how innocent we were. 10 straight wins at home, and many of them against teams far better than the Warriors, like the Grizzlies. So no, the Warriors, because they won the game 5.
He sat out a lot of those games, too.
No, I'm talking about the games he played. I'm saying LeBron James.
But when you tried out the last time when he broke Kareem's record,
well, that's just
he sat out how long after that?
Is he a facts or a feelings guy?
That's a fact.
That's
he sat out. All right, here's the fact.
Yeah.
I've never come off my pick.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to get up here and act like, oh, it's over. The Warriors got it. I'm not about to go there because I'm realistic. But I have never said it's over. They have no shot. I had 3 toes down. Now, that's real. 3 toes for a team down 3-1
does a person
is a lot.
typically have, Brew?
And after last night,
70% of your toes.
After all that happened last night,
you back to 10?
I'm adding toes. Not 10, 5.
You're adding 5.
I'm at 5. No, I'm adding
We're
2.
8.
Oh.
I'm adding 2.
Give me a break.
I'm at 5. And here's the you mentioned all that. Oh, the Wiggins was phenomenal, and Draymond was unusually good offensively.
You agree with me?
That's true. But guess who wasn't?
Clay?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the thing, Nick.
Yeah.
In fact, Clay and Steph combined shot like 29% from 3, and they still beat them handily. And so we could the basketball stuff you got right. Draymond, I think he's very good when his back's against the wall. Even remember, now it was a while ago, but 2016,
Game 7 was the best game of his career.
Right. I mean, so Draymond, I think, is going to show up. Wiggins played his best game of the series. We'll see if hopefully he can duplicate that. But I'm expecting Clay to step up with a big game because last 3 games, Clay's averaging 11 points on 30% shooting. And so if he steps up and Draymond doesn't get his 20, that'll even out. Jordan Poole, it was nice to see him show up. But here's the thing. So I think they played fine. Anthony Davis, and it looks like he's going to play, right? But we're all glad about that. Even as I pick the Warriors and want them to win, I don't want to see it that way. So we're glad AD is back, assuming he'll play. But I think he's going to be hesitant. I think he's going to be a bit tentative. If I'm the Warriors, I'm getting physical with him. And I think subconsciously, this could become a crutch for him. It's like an excuse for one of those unimpactful, disengaged performances we see here and there from Anthony Davis. I don't think he's going to be dominant.
Can I talk about the unimpactful, disengaged performances? We've seen one from him of those dating back a few weeks now. He was awesome in Game 5 against the Grizzlies. LeBron, well, you know what? Let's go. Yeah, it was awesome in Game 5. LeBron was bad, which is why they lost. He was spectacular in Game 6 against the Grizzlies. His offensive numbers didn't say it. They won that game by 40. He was excellent in Game 1, 3, 4, and he was very good yesterday in this series until he got hit. He's been bad once dating back to the first week of the
11-7.
The win 11-7. Oh,
Game
you're talking,
2.
oh yeah, okay, absolutely. Dating, it was been bad once, dating back to the first week of the postseason.
He don't have to be bad though. If he's just so for him, that's enough. That's all they need.
Don't you think it's like
He needs to dominate the glass. Like they're getting out rebounded by the shrimp Warriors. He can't let that happen.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, they're tiny.
Okay.
They don't go small, they go tiny.
how LeBron is missing all those threes? And you're like, eventually, LeBron is going to start hitting. It's been too long with him playing poorly.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of the opposite rationale with AD playing strong on both ends? We're kind of like, all right, we're due for a AD inconsistent game.
No,
and Brew is saying, like, all right, if he doesn't want to get super physical, he ends up just taking jump shots, misses a few, and all of a sudden you got the tentative AD game.
So I understood. I understand that logic. I think that is selling him short. I think that aside from Jokic and Booker, there is not a guy in this postseason that has been excellent every single night. Jimmy Butler had his off night last night, really his first one of the postseason. Steph has had them in this playoffs, 2 of them actually.
He hasn't had the roller coaster that AD has.
Well, but again, that roller coaster is looking at it purely through the offensive lens.
Well, he's a guy that should be able to score 20 plus a night.
I understand that, but the Lakers have been the best defense in this postseason. He's been the anchor of it. But on the Anthony Davis thing, if we're moving there, the point that I would make is I actually had an initial similar inclination that you did, Brew, which was, man, if he starts rough, does the fact that everybody knows he got hurt, does he use it, I don't want to say as an excuse.
I almost say subconsciously. I don't think he'd purposely do that.
But allow for it. And then I saw how he was talked about today.
Oh, that's interesting.
And Anthony Davis, the year they were the defending champs, had to listen, and I love Chuck. I love him call Anthony Davis street clothes. So much that the guy had a damn near torn groin. Do you guys remember that game? And he's like, you know what, I'm going to play.
He tried to play.
And he tried to, and he couldn't jog.
Silly to go out there.
But it was, because he saw what was being said about him and was angry. Since then, Anthony Davis obviously has missed a lot of time with injuries, but all of them legitimate injuries. A fair critique to me of AD is his body is a little brittle. You know what I mean? Maybe it's hard for him to hold up. I don't think he has been, when he missed a month earlier this year, milking something. That was a significant real injury. And now today, we all saw Kevon Looney, a big, strong guy, whack him in the temple. And he had to see Charles and Shaq laughing at him. And then again, another guy.
Are we positive that's what they were laughing about?
Okay.
I mean,
I think we're not positive, but if I think it, if a lot of people think it, let's assume that Anthony Davis might be one of those people that's thinking it.
Sure.
I know that my dear friend, who I have much respect for, I know all of us do, Stephen A. today, just crushed him.
Well, he apologized.
For getting, okay, but it still happened. For getting a concussion. If that's what he got, or at least having symptoms of a concussion, having me wheeled out in a wheelchair. This is a guy that has immense athletic pride, who is playing some of the best basketball of his life. Don't you think there is at least the possibility this swings in the other direction?
I think you make some good points.
I think it's a great take.
Yeah, because I do think the year they won the championship, he did. You know, he had been hearing all for years that this dude can't stay healthy. And he played through injuries that in the past he probably would have sat out with. Now, he also had a 4-month break in the middle of the season, but hey, that wasn't his fault. So,
and there were no breaks in the playoffs. He played all through the playoffs.
I think that's very possible. I think one of the two is very likely that he does, and he might come out and use it as fuel.
That was a good take. I didn't see that one coming.
Oh, you didn't see a good take coming from the side?
I didn't see the being inspired by the media.
Wouldn't you be furious?
Yes.
But sometimes that can help you or it can hurt you in that you try to do too much.
Well,
maybe you're getting fouled. You know what I mean? I don't know.
He was also on the record earlier in this series saying, like, he doesn't care what anyone says. They think you're the best. They think you're the worst. I don't pay attention to it. Now, I don't necessarily believe that you're able to build a bubble, no pun intended, around your kind of media input. I still think he'll get some of that and play better.
Yeah, but I also think his style, I agree with you that sometimes with guys, the motivation can make you play outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. I think his style of play and honestly also his position makes that much harder. He's not bringing the ball up the court. You know what I mean? He's not a guy who's going to be controlling the offense and all of that. And because of that, I think that the biggest critique of AD when he's not great is that he is too passive, that he is not aggressive enough. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Even in the good games, he's been huge in the first half. And then has faded a bit offensively, at least in the second half of these.
But I wonder how much of that is like Austin Reeves starts to cook and they just
Reeves is really good. He's a really good.
He is a creative haircut away from superstar. The other injury kind of flying under the radar, LeBron came down. He was hopping on one foot. It was a little bit of an ankle. So this was not the foot that was injured that the LeBron James of feet treated. It was the other foot. How do you think this impacts Game 6, Nick?
I don't think this specific injury, I don't even call this is to me not an injury. They did not look at it. The trainers did not look at him. Credit to Rob Perez, Worldwide Wob on Twitter. He was watching the TNT overtime streams, and one of those has a camera dedicated to LeBron at all times, even when he's not in the game. And he said he watched it after that, and the trainers never went over to him. They never addressed it. So that, to me, is not a concern. I know Wildes and I agree on something I think Brew kind of disagrees on, which is I think LeBron is clearly and obviously hurt.
Oh, yeah.
I think it is undeniable. If you watch how he played pre-foot injury, if you watch how he played in the month of January, averaging 35 a game, and I understand it's like, oh, he's gotten older. He's gotten older than the player he was in 2020 and 2018. He has not gotten much older than he was 4 months ago. He's gotten 4 months older. Sure. I think it is he does not have the burst or the ability to change direction off that foot as well as he would like. But he is finding his way through this series, and I think he will be excellent in Game 6, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you on the tweak. I mean, it's something, you do that and he shook it off and was fine. Look, I think his foot is probably sore, but I don't think you can play 40 minutes every other night and play well when you got a serious injury like this. I mean, I think we need to stop saying that. They're playing great. They're up. They're looking like they're headed toward the conference finals, and LeBron's their leading scorer.
Well,
he's 38 years old. We expect him to average 30 every series?
No, but that's don't we see that in sports all the time? Guys that we know they're injured, we know they have to have a procedure done in the offseason, and they play through it. Yeah. They play their regular workload, but they're a slightly diminished version of themselves. I know one's foot, one's a hand, but when De'Aaron Fox got hurt, what did everyone bring up? Kobe had the same thing going on and then had it dealt with in the offseason. You could see it because it was on his finger. This is obviously a different situation. The Chiefs running back, Isaiah Pacheco, we found out yesterday, he just had labrum surgery because he was playing with a torn labrum. You couldn't tell it from his workload or his production. Right, well, and his, you could see the drop-off.
You guys thought it was soft. That's where the young people be soft graphic came from.
But 18-month-old take.
Yeah.
You're lucky Dusty doesn't have the
Wildes, you think he's clearly injured,
I think he can barely jump. There are some times where you would expect a block.
Barely jump? He's blocking shots and dunking on people.
He is not blocking shots like Bam Adebayo's blocking shots. He's blocking Steph's layups at 11 feet in the rim. He had a putback dunk that he got in, but this is not. Obviously, it's not prime LeBron, but it's like you said, it's not the LeBron we saw this winter.
No, I just think it's clearly not January LeBron, and it's so odd that Wildes now acknowledges LeBron is an injured player, yet can't help himself from taking shots at him. Let's go to the tweets. Wildes, wild thoughts.
Just facts.
So, I will admit, Brew, I had a lot of optimism for this segment when I saw this tweet from Kevin Wildes. I said, oh, some spice. LeBron passing up a parentheses missed three to let AD go to work on Draymond is the perfect strategy for the Lakers.
Hello? It was good.
That's a good tweet. It's a good. It was like I was like, oh, we're ramping up to Wildes really being who he
What
wants
is your
to be.
ideal tweet?
Well,
LeBron's terrible.
No.
I like
Well,
LeBron.
you've done stuff like
Here's
that.
the thing. Here's the thing. This is close to an ideal tweet, which is why it was so disappointing that you followed it up with these two Magic Johnson specials. Contract Draymond. Here to
That's
play.
interesting.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because you know what? It's going to be. It could have been his last game. He's like, wow. You know what? You don't think I'm worth $29.3
I'm
million?
with you on this one. I'm on your
He
side.
played out
on
of
that
his
one.
mind.
That's
Now
not
some
bad.
people say like this meeting could have been an email. That tweet could have been a thought.
It's-
And then you followed up with
I
6
don't mind
words.
that one. I
With
don't
this
mind
shit.
that one.
That should be it for LeBron.
That was one
Why?
third.
What are you doing?
He was out of the game.
What
I
are you
called
doing?
it. I called
What
it.
are you doing?
This is cogent analysis.
Brew
I
is never
called it.
gonna follow you if you just
He's
spit it
he's
out.
got a radio show, a
I keep
TV
forgetting.
show. He's doing speeches. He's a
Yeah.
busy guy. He's gonna
But
get around to
but
it.
I need to follow you.
Yeah, but
after the show. After the show.
But you said that yesterday.
I keep forgetting, but after the day's show, remind me.
You can
Remind
do
me.
it right now.
I will. No,
Well,
I can't wait.
you don't want him to prep for the bees.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.